Senior travel secrets. Airlines don't tell you. Travel after 6C should feel like freedom, not friction. And yet too often, you're nudged toward delays, uncomfortable seats, and surprise fees, as if that's just how travel is. It isn't. After digging through insider habits from cabin crews, travel planners, and hotel managers, I rebuilt a simple loop-based game plan that protects your health, unlocks quiet perks, and cuts costs without arguing at a counter. 2 open loops for you right now. There's a specific seat zone most travelers overlook that quietly gets extra attention from flight attendants, and there's a way to walk into lounges even without a premium ticket. You'll also hear a mindset shift at the end that turns hassles into wins. Keep one callback in mind as we go, snap a quick photo of your packed bag before you leave, and tuck a copy into your phone's travel vault. That little habit pairs with several tricks ahead and saves headaches when plans change. Picture your departure circled on the calendar, and instead of starting with the suitcase, you begin with your health timeline because the trip doesn't start at the gate, it starts in your body. The problem is most people cram medical prep into the final week and end up chasing prescriptions or reacting to side effects on the road. So you set a longer runway, schedule a pre-trip check-in early enough for vaccines to take effect, for dosage tweaks to settle, and for a simple border-ready medication summary. Your doctor can print that lists meds in plain, internationally recognizable terms. You then build redundancy. Keep the bulk of your daily meds in your personal item, stash a smaller reserve in a separate bag, and add a buffer supply so a delay doesn't turn into a health scramble. Resolution. You walk through security calm because your essentials are within reach, documented, and backed up. Now let's make that same long runway thinking pay off when you buy the ticket. You're at your laptop with 3 tabs open and a destination in mind. The problem is the internet still repeats old folklore about the cheapest day, while airlines quietly shape prices by demand and season. Your move is to think in windows, not weekdays. For most trips, prices settle into predictable troughs several weeks out for domestic and several months out for international, with exceptions around big holidays and events, so you track a narrow range with alerts and watch for that dip. When you spot the pattern, you lock your outbound first, then treat the return as its own puzzle, because a round-trip button isn't always your friend. Resolution. Your fare lands closer to the floor than the ceiling without a spreadsheet degree. Split the puzzle in 2, and you unlock an even bigger lever and a phone call trick most people never try. Imagine the search results again, but this time you decouple the trip. The problem is a round-trip fare can hide cheaper one-ways or mixed carriers that never show together. You search each direction separately, consider nearby airports, and test one carrier out, another back. Then you add a human. You call an international or regional reservations line during their normal business hours, where agents sometimes have different tools or inventory than the main hotline, and you simply ask, "Can you see any combinable fares I'm missing?" Resolution. Between mixed one-ways and a helpful agent, you shave real money without gambling on sketchy sites. Callback. Before you confirm, drop a PDF of both e-tickets into your travel vault next to that bag photo, so if a connection misfires, everything you need is one tap away. Now that you have booked, let's place you in a seat zone that quietly upgrades the whole flight. You're scanning the seat map, and the problem is choice overload. Exit row looks tempting, the bulkhead looks roomy, but turbulence, galley noise, and bathroom traffic can turn extra legroom into extra restless. The move is to target a mid-cabin sweet spot that trades a little leg stretch for a lot of stability and service consistency, often a few rows behind the forward galley on single-aisle planes or just ahead of the wing on wide bodies. Then there's the overlooked shadow rows near crew jump seats. You're not guaranteed special treatment, but proximity often means quicker check-ins, extra water top-ups, and help when you actually need it. Resolution. You arrive less rattled, more rested, and first in line when the coffee finally appears. Callback. Use the same posture you'll learn in the fatigue loop, small angles at knees, hips, and elbows, and that seat becomes even better. Getting to that seat without battling the curbside chaos is next. You pull up to departures and see a swarm of cars. The problem is wasted energy before you've even touched security. You ask your driver for the less crowded drop-off. Some airports have premium or alternative lanes you can use without a fancy ticket, and many have separate doors by airline or terminal. You can choose with a quick map check. Inside, you've already requested assistance and when you booked, but not necessarily a wheelchair unless you want one. At most major airports, there's a guided option that escorts you through checkpoints and to the gate, which is useful if long walks or heavy bags are the real obstacle. Resolution: you spend your energy on the trip, not on conquering the sidewalk. And if you think security is the same line for everyone, there's a faster path that doesn't require elite status. You're facing the security maze. The problem is unpredictable wait times, shoe shuffles, and trays stacked like dominoes. Your move is twofold: enroll in a trusted traveler or fast-track program where available, and pair it with pre-flight assistance from the airline or airports so your name is already on a list for smoother screening. You keep liquids and meds accessible at the top of your personal item. Tuck that doctor's summary behind your ID, and if you use mobility aids, you tell the officer the exact order you'd like items passed through. Resolution: you're on the other side faster and calmer with your routine intact. Callback: the meds you split in your health net loop mean there's no panic if a bag gets a closer inspection. Once you're airside, a door that looks closed might actually be open. You're staring at frosted glass and soft lighting. The problem is you assume those lounges are only for premium tickets. The action is to audit your existing credit cards and bank perks in the app or with a quick phone call because many include lounge networks or day pass credits you've never used. Some independent lounges also sell access at the door when capacity allows. If you still strike out, you try the airline's own app. On quiet days, they sometimes offer discounted entry during off-peak hours. Resolution: you get a calmer seat, better lighting, and a cleaner restroom without changing the fare you paid. Callback: store a photo of that lounge pass inside your travel vault, so if your wallet is buried, you still walk in. A calmer gait is half the battle. The other half is how you feel at 35,000 feet. You settle into your seat and the problem is invisible. Dry air, long sitting, and cabin noise stack up until you step off the plane feeling older than you are. Your action is a simple pre-flight routine. Steady water intake the day before and day of travel. Then skip alcohol and heavy caffeine near departure so you don't start dehydrated. On board, you set small angles at your joints, use a neck pillow as a spacer behind the lower back rather than a chin clamp, and take short standing micro breaks when the seatbelt sign allows. Light compression socks help, and for longer flights, lightweight compression sleeves for your arms can reduce that puffy forearm feeling. Resolution: you land clear-headed with less stiffness and more patience for baggage claim. Callback: the quiet seat zone from earlier, plus this posture routine is a powerful combo. Speaking of baggage claim, a tiny digital habit can save hours when something goes missing. You're at the carousel and a bag doesn't appear. The problem is proving what you packed, where you were seated, and how to contact the right people fast. Your action starts before you left home. A secure folder on your phone and in the cloud holds scans of your passport, prescriptions, tickets, and a simple escalation note that lists emergency contacts, your insurer's claim line, and the nearest consulate or assistance number at your destination. You use a dedicated email for travel reservations so trip details aren't buried, and you add an eSIM plan as a backup so you can text or call even if your main carrier misbehaves. Resolution: at the counter, you can produce details in seconds, attach your bag photo and receipt, and get your claim moving instead of retelling your story 3 times. Now that your information is safe, let's stop leaky money from eating your budget. You're buying a coffee abroad or withdrawing cash. The problem is drip fees you don't see until your statement arrives. Your action is to split access across tools. One main card with no foreign transaction fees, a backup from a different bank, a small cushion of local cash for card down moments, and, if you like, a travel account you can top up on the fly. You always choose to pay in the local currency at terminals to avoid extra conversion markups, and you keep withdrawals to fewer, larger ones when ATM fees are flat. You also set card alerts and travel plans in the app and keep your bank's fraud number in your vault so a decline charge becomes a 90-second fix. Resolution: Your budget goes to the trip, not to invisible surcharges. Callback. Those lounge credits from earlier often include free ATM fee refunds, worth checking in the same benefits list. Money protected, body protected. What's left is the part of travel you control most, your approach. You're at the gate, and a ripple of change runs through the seating chart. The problem is that upgrades feel like a lottery you can't influence. Your action is a calm, specific ask, delivered at the right moment. When the desk isn't swamped, you step up with a smile and say, "If you end up needing to reseat passengers for balance or comfort, I'm in your row and happy to move. A quieter seat would really help my knees on this leg." You don't plead, you offer flexibility. You have already chosen a reasonable seat, so anything better is a bonus. Resolution. Sometimes you get a nicer spot, sometimes you don't. But you have planted your name in the agent's mind as easy to work with, useful if delays shuffle the deck. Callback. That seat near a crew jump seat from earlier often gets noticed. Being considerate, there can pay off twice. Now for the promised mindset that makes every hiccup feel less like a wall and more like a door. You're on a trip and a delay hits. The problem is the reflex spiral, frustration, blame, energy drain. The move isn't forced positivity, it's curiosity on purpose. You ask, "What's the tiny win here?" and pivot. A new terminal means a new art display to wander. A rebook means a chance to try that lounge trick. A gate change means you can politely check if any seats opened in that quiet zone row. You keep your routines, hydration, posture, short walks, and your tools, HealthNet, Vault, Money Plan. So problems shrink to size and don't multiply. Resolution. You stop letting travel happen to you and start shaping the experience, which is the real upgrade at any age. Callback. That first photo of your neatly packed bag becomes the last thing you need if a delay forces an overnight. You know exactly what to pull and where it is. Time to close our open loops and pick your first move. We opened with 3 promises. A seat zone most people skip, a path into lounges without a premium ticket, and a mindset that makes setbacks smaller. You've now got the quiet seat map and crew prox rows, the overlooked credit card and day pass options, and the habit of asking, "What's the tiny win here?" We also built a health net with redundancy, booked smarter with windows and split tickets, skipped the curb chaos with assistance, beat fatigue with posture and hydration, protected your info with a travel vault, and kept fees at bay by paying in local currency and spreading your access points. Keep the callbacks tight. That bag photo sits next to your e-tickets and doctor's note in your vault. The posture routine supercharges the quiet seat. The polite 2-line ask leverages everything you did right. Pick one loop to implement on your next trip, then add another on the one after that, and watch travel start feeling like what it should be again. Freedom with benefits.